Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here this morning. News is broken that CM Punk has decided that he's going to fight in the welterweight division of UFC. There's going to be a lot of news coming out of Fight Week with UFC. CM Punk was a part of a cooking challenge last night, and there's going to be a lot of interviews with lots of press, people being there. CM Punk is one of the biggest well-known UFC stars to never have a fight inside of the octagon. So there's been lots of people trying to pressure him to say when he's going to make that first fight. And there's news going around that people are saying that he's going to make his first fight in December. Basically, where this is coming from is a quote from an article that came out with CM Punk basically saying that he's hoping to fight in December, but it might be January. He's not sure. Basically, people are going to let him know when he is ready to fight. He's just given up wrestling. He's only been training for this UFC thing for only a little while. He's been training with former kickboxer Duke Rufus, who is really big into training Anthony Pettis, and he trains 3 times a day. He recently moved from Chicago to be closer to the gym that he works out in. CM Punk, there's a lot of people that are expecting him to just come in and straight up fail. I think CM Punk is a guy that really drives himself, that he's going to want himself to succeed. But, a lot like Batista. When Batista wanted to make one MMA fight, he basically did it. And that was when he chose that it was time to walk away. He got to live his lifelong dream. CM Punk is being welcomed into a large organization, the biggest MMA company in the world, and they're having him train, and they're basically going to give him a stage to fight on possibly one of the biggest shows of the year. When CM Punk fights, there's going to be enough draw around it that I believe it's either going to draw a huge number on a UFC on Fox special, or it's just going to be basically on pay-per-view, where all of his wrestling fans are going to have to pony up the money to UFC to draw a large payday for UFC and for CM Punk, for the reason of, we haven't seen this guy in a ring since the Royal Rumble. Everybody's been expecting him to show up and be involved in WWE again, and basically that's something that might not ever happen again. So I think that Dana White and CM Punk will both come to the table, and they'll both agree to put this fight on the pay-per-view and see what happens. A lot of people are thinking they'll put CM Punk into the octagon against a guy that has a record of like 0-9, basically just giving him a chance to sort of go up the ladder very easily, where people can see him and they can see him win. But there's some people who think that CM Punk's going to put in the octagon. It doesn't matter if they put him in there with a guy against a losing record. He's going to go in there and get his head kicked in. I'm wishing CM Punk all the success in the world. I hopefully that he can go into UFC and live out his lifelong dream, because who's not going to want to do that? What's good for CM Punk in UFC is going to be good for WWE, because they're going to have to tell this guy's story about where he comes from. There's not a lot of people that go into UFC as a rookie at his age, and people are going to want to know, where this guy came from. You think about when Brock Lesnar, made it to the top of UFC and he was the champion, and, UFC was showing clips of him wrestling in WWE because it was better for them, because they were able to tell a story about where this guy came from on the Fight Night specials and things like that. So we'll see what it was to come for CM Punk, but if you see the rumors that CM Punk is fighting in December, know that they're not true. It's only just one part of an interview where he basically said he wants to fight in December. There's nothing booked yet. It might be January, it might be February. There is no date for when CM Punk will fight in UFC.